This is my audience. My speech is on the power of prayer in schools. And the purpose is to persuade my audience on the crucial need for prayer to be put back in schools. Imagine your day starts right away because the pledge isn't even said at the beginning of your day at school. It's done somewhere around your second block. You start right away by taking a test. All of a sudden you hear commotion in the hallway at schools. At first you think it's just kids running around and playing. And then all of a sudden you hear screaming. Your heart starts racing and beating. And then you hear kids running and you hear commotion. And then you hear a gunshot. You get scared and you hide under your desk. And then you wake up and you realize it was just a dream. But for some kids it's not a dream, it's reality. They've lived through a school shooting. The rapid decline in the morals and the values of our kids is becoming a serious problem, especially the increase of violence in the public schools since the removal of prayer in 1963. If prayer is such a bad mix for kids in the public school system, then why did it take 1,263 whole years and one atheist and a single lawyer to figure it out? If it's so bad for our kids, why has the U.S. Congress failed to stop praying before every meeting? It doesn't quite make sense to me that they feel the need to pray, and our money says, "In God we trust," but yet they don't trust the very most precious thing to us, our children, and our school district to pray. Let me tell you about some alarming statistics of what happens since taking prayer out of schools. Violent crime has been up 544%. Prior to 1963, divorce started declining 15 years in a row. But after 1963, it more than doubled. Unwed birth for ages 10 to 14-year-old had rose 553% by 1983. Sexually transmitted diseases for ages 15 to 19% was up 226%. And the percent of children with fatherless households went from 6% to 40%. And that's alarming. The first school massacre was reported 3 years after school prayers removed in 1966 in Austin, Texas, where 17 people were killed and 31 injured. Since then, school shootings have been on an alarming rise. Let me show you the statistics just from 2000 and beyond. From college and high school shootings, there was 41 shootings from 2000 to 2009 from Wikimedia Foundation. The deaths were 76, injuries 106. Middle and elementary school, there was 9 shootings, 4 deaths, and 0 injuries. Private schools, there was only 1 shooting, 0 deaths, and 1 injury, where there was school prayer. From 2010 to present, Wikimedia Foundation reported college and high school shootings skyrocketed to 111, 68 deaths, 124 injuries. Middle and elementary school, 13 shootings, 32 deaths, 17 injuries. And out of those elementary numbers, there's a Sandy Hook shooting, December 14, 2012, where 28 people were killed, 2 were injured on that horrific day. And in private schools, there's 3 shootings, 1 death, and 5 injuries, where prayer is still allowed. Solving the problem of this rapid decline, we can start by bringing prayer back into the schools. We took a survey with you guys before the speech, and all of you had said that it would impact the day, bring morals and safety back into the schools. You also said it would encourage students with a positive outlook on life if prayer is brought back to the schools. On May 6 of 1982, President Ronald Reagan said, "Our Pledge of Allegiance states that we are one nation under God. Our currency bears the motto, 'In God we trust.' The morality and values of such faith implies and are deeply embedded in our nation's character. Our country embraces these principles by design. We abandon them at our peril. Yet in recent years, well-meaning Americans, in the name of freedom, have taken freedom away for the sake of religious tolerance. They've forbidden religious practice in the classrooms. The law of the land has effectively removed prayer in the classrooms. How can we hope to retain freedom through the generations if we fail to teach our young liberty offsprings of the abiding faith in our Creator?" As of August of 2014, CNS News reports that 43 states are currently teaching Bible literature as a course, and 10 states have passed a law to add Bible into the classrooms. Now, it is taught as a secular course, but it has been very effective of both Christian and non-Christian students. How can we take that and make that same change by adding prayer into the schools? Many schools have adopted a moment of silence in the schools. It's also done as a secular method, and kids can do whatever they want with it, but it is adding an opportunity to bring prayer back into the schools for those who choose to add it in that moment. Imagine a day where you can start your day off with prayer. Before a game, you all get together and you pray before the game and ask for safety. Kids gather around the flagpole and pray for school as a nation, not because it's a national day to pray, but because you choose to pray. You have confidence in your day will be okay because you have faith and you have hope. Many kids of this generation are walking around lost hope of tomorrow. If school violence is on the rise, I don't ever want to turn on the TV and see the horrific image of another school shooting, nor do I want my kids to have to live through the image in their own schools. Let's do what we can to help change the future generation by pushing to get prayer put back into our schools. Schools give kids a reason to hope, but for a reason to look forward to tomorrow. It's never too late to change unless we stop pushing for a change. You can go to petitiontocongress.com and petition 4119, sign a petition to get prayer back into the schools. Thank you.